So you all finally manage to get to this park, and you see the gazebo that Star was referring to. What happens?
Okay. Everyone, this is Stormy Rain. My, he'll like wink. Instead of saying husband, he'll say bodyguard and manager. Stormy, everyone else.
I'll go up to shake his hand. It's like right off the bat.
Yeah, Stormy goes ahead and gives you a very firm handshake. Pleased to meet you all. Sam, right?
Yeah. Good to meet you. Good to meet you.
So, what did you wish to discuss?
Okay, how do I explain this without sounding completely batshit crazy? Okay, Energy said a minute ago I was transported to another world, but prior to that, Beyonce was at our house. Yes, she showed up at our front door.
What did she want?
I'm assuming she wanted me to do some kind of music deal with Davey, like for me and her to be like a relationship kind of thing.
Of,
I turned her down flat.
of course she did. He looks very, upset by that. Well, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. If I wasn't caught up with investors this morning, I definitely would have gotten her out of there myself.
I don't blame you. Then from there, I was transported to the world where we met our friend Sue, and he'll like indicate at Sue and say, "Yeah, she's a Frenchie. Just roll with it."
Nice to meet you, Mr. Polecat, she says, and she sort of takes a step away from Mr. Polecat. Is she nervous around people like myself?
She has an allergy to cats. Just keep your distance.
Oh.
She kind of has a ability of changing shape. I'll explain more in detail.
That's induced by allergies?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. She's from this world where food attacks people. Oh, and he like pulled out the flavor Senchi ball. But I got this thing.
Wow. He says, you all have been busy, apparently.
Starr put it back in his pocket.
Food attacks people? What kind of world is that? That's just crazy. And as he says that's just crazy, there's this like random like group of like, I don't know, like campers that are, just passing by, and they're just singing random stuff about like, ow, he hit me. It's like, Billy, you better behave or else we're gonna stay on the bus. And they're all like singing this back and forth. As Storm was saying, that's a really weird world.
Okay, and then Starr will be like, then after we left the flavor Senshi world, then we went to Frankie's world. He's the Minotaur. Now I gotta let you in on a secret. And he'll like lean in close. They don't actually look like that. Except for Sam. He's kind of always black and white. I think it's a disease. I'm not sure.
Stormy will looks towards Sam and say, he seems perfectly healthy to me.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any color. Like, what is that? There's no answers.
It's all right, he says, looking at Sam. I have plenty of friends who are pandas, zebras. I don't judge.
Yeah, just wait to see him touch something. Sam, can you just touch something? Oh wait, don't touch anything. Yeah, don't. Yeah, like Star's like, wait, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything at all. They'll consider that magic. Well, I'll have him show you later. And then
I'll point out that when Sam shook hands with Frank, with Stormy, Stormy's white. Storm is already white, so go ahead.
And Starr was like, okay. And then we went to Frankie's world. There's a whole bunch of weird things happening. And then Starr will look kind of uncomfortable with saying the next part because like Frankie's like right there. So he won't say like all the terrible things that happened out loud. There's just a lot. And then now we're here. And Honestly, Stormy, I don't have answers, but is there somewhere else where we can go where we can be a little bit more quiet? Because there's some more pressing information I think we need to discuss.
Absolutely. I don't have anything until my 1 o'clock after lunch, so I'm all yours until then.
Star will smile at that and say, "Okay, let's go back to the apartment." He'll be like, "Come on, everybody. I'm so sorry I have you running around, but this is the only thing I could think of. This is the best way I could think of to get to Stormy." So he'll grab Stormy's arm and be like, "Back to the apartment, everyone. Let's go."
All right. You all are going to make your way towards the apartment. And can we just say that Black Powder is sort of near the back of the group, sort of lagging behind a little bit? I mean, Black Powder hasn't had a great day so far.
He hates this world.
Black Powder's been really rough. It has felt really rough here. And so, but then what happens is you guys are just going to pass by like an alleyway of sorts, or like you're going to be passing by a block, basically. And this all is going to happen relatively quickly, but you will all see a character pop out from the alleyway. So this is a relatively cute looking bat. The bat has very dark sunglasses, and the bat is holding a cane, the cane that a lot of visually impaired people use. They kind of do the whole back and forth thing as they're walking down the street. Anyway, she happens to be very briskly walking down the street, like using her cane, as quickly as she can, just to make sure she's not accidentally running into anyone. And as soon as she gets close to your group, she almost, not quite, but almost runs directly into Black Powder. And when she does, she's very quickly apologetic. "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm really, really sorry." And then she turns not her face but her ears towards down the street, and she looks very distressed. Like she looks like something's quite not right. And there appears to be another person walking very briskly in the same direction, as if he's been following her this entire time. And the person who's following her looks lizard-like. He's got like green scales of some sort. And the bat turns towards Black Powder and says, I'm really, really sorry about this, but could you please do me a favor? Please, please, please do me a quick favor. I just need you to pretend that you're my boyfriend. Don't ask any questions. Just please, 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 just pretend you're my boyfriend. And then at that point, the lizard person finally gets up to you and says, "Hey, why'd you run off so quickly? We were talking and you just kind of skedaddled." "Oh, hi," she says. "I'm so sorry. I just saw my boyfriend. I felt my boyfriend down the street, and lo and behold, he's right here," she said.
Yeah, Black Powder will just put his arm around her and like pull her close to him, and it's like, "Can I help you, sir?"
"Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that you were already taken." "Oh, yes, yes, yes. My boyfriend and I, we've been together for she sort of looks in, she kind of not looks, but like turns her head towards Black Powder's direction and leave, as if to say,
been together for a couple of years now."
"Couple years. I see," he says. Roll a deception, please, Black Powder. Fast talking is fine too.
Yep. So I go to. Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
"Really? How'd you meet?" All of a sudden, he seemed to be asking a lot of questions. "How'd you meet?"
Why does it matter to you, stranger?
Just saw her, and she caught my eye, and I just couldn't help but think
Oh, so
that she was...
you were harassing my girl.
He starts getting a little flustered. "Hey, I don't want any trouble here. I don't have any trouble."
So how about you move along?
"Well, my apologies. Yes, you should just run along, Mr. Trey. Tristan Trey, that is, he says. Well, I suppose somebody else is going to have to experience 50 Shades of Me elsewhere, he says. And 50 Shades of Trey, because he's a chameleon, and he's got 50 shades, so... Sorry.
I'm dead. Like, Tristan, I get it, Tristan.
Tristan Trey.
Oh my god.
I love it.
So he kind of skedaddles off, and the bat kind of looks relieved. Whew. I'm really sorry about that, sir. I didn't mean to put you into a compromising position. That guy's just been harassing me over the last several days, and I just haven't been able to shake him.
That's all right. I understand how frustrating rude people can be.
She kind of smiles and says, I can make it up to you. I can buy you lunch or something for your trouble, if that's okay.
I appreciate it, but unfortunately I have some business to do with me friends.
Oh, absolutely, of course.
Will you be alright on your own?
Oh, she says, I may not look like it, but I can take care of myself. He just was, particularly frustrating. I'm sure I would have been able to call the police on him at some point if he was really getting too far, but you just happened to be right here, so I thought might as well see if that would work.
Glad you could be of assistance. What's your name, by the way?
Oh, my name is Taylor. What's your name?
Reginald. It's nice to meet you.
Reginald? That's a really sweet name, she says. And she gives you a very warm smile. And while that's happening, Sue leans over to Starr and says, do you see what I see?
And Starr would like be smiling and nodding.
Yeah, so of all of us here, I wasn't expecting Black Powder to be the one who had the most game.
Starr would be like, anything's possible. People are into bears. They're kind of a thing.
Energy's kind of also witnessing this too and says, I never would have guessed. Never would have guessed at all. It does not compute. Taylor says, well, Reginald, she sort of blushes a little bit. I still want to thank you, even though you're busy. So maybe tonight or sometime later this week, you could take me up on me treating you to lunch or dinner. And then she sort of takes out her phone and kind of shows you her phone number. So if you want to take her phone number, you're welcome to.
I'll take a minute to commit it to my eidetic memory.
Okay.
I'll see what I can do. I'm afraid I'm pretty busy lately, so I don't know if I'll have time. But thank you. It's very pleasant to meet you.
It was a pleasure to meet you too, Reginald. Well, I hope you have a really good day, alright?
You too, and stay safe.
I mean, she'll give your hand a shake, and as you're shaking her hand, she's just gonna give it a little squeeze, a very nice, sweet, gentle squeeze, innocent, so a gentle squeeze, and then she will walk off down the street.
I forgot to write down her name.
Her name is Taylor. Taylor. But it's spelled T-A-I-L-E-R, not T-A-Y. Okay. Taylor.
It's gonna be like, Reginald, really?
That's my name! I told you all it when we first met.
He did.
That is my actual name. Black Powder's just a nickname.
Can we start calling you Reginald?
I mean, if you want. People have also called
Reggie.
Reggie! I like that too. Reggie.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to, although I don't really see myself as a Reggie. But if you want to, it's not going to bother me. I'm used to calling me different things.
So, that Taylor girl, she was really cute.
Hi.
So, are you thinking about possibly going out to lunch or dinner with her at some point?
Well, if we have the time, I don't see why not, but we've been very busy.
It's really hard for me to say no to free food, and maybe she might be able to find you some exciting recipes while we're here.
Like I said, it kind of depends on timing. I suspect we're going to be pretty busy here. I'm just glad she wasn't getting hurt or nothing.
Yeah, that chameleon guy seemed like such a jerk. You all will finally make it back to Star's apartment.
Okay, so now that we're back in Star's apartment, Star's going to be like, okay, so Star's going to relay everything that happened over the past sessions, all the adventures that took place. And from there, what Starr will kind of like relay to everyone, again, kind of recapping like the dangers of using music and magic. And now Star's like, okay, Stormy, what you got for me? And like he's like scratching the back of his head because I can't make heads or tails of any of this. And apparently we're supposed to fix something here.
So by problem you mean your friends are in this world and you're trying to get them out of this world?
Yes.
I mean, this is all new to me, Starr. It seems like you've been experiencing this for a lot longer than I have, so I have no answers. I've got no magical knowledge. It sounds magical to me.
Crap.
Starr, we have to find one of the bookmarks.
Yeah.
Bookmarks?
Yeah, we every time we finish in, like when we finish in Sue's world, we found the bookmark completed. And when we finished in my world, we had the bookmark completed. We had to find your bookmark again. Completed.
The only thing I can think of things that are an immediate problem for Starr right now is releasing his next major album, his next record deal. Maybe you all are supposed to do that.
I doubt it, just judging off of the general technical knowledge of this group.
Starr will be nodding. That sounds like a plan.
I mean, it seems so far we've finished in each world when we've completed a major task or helped someone here. Like with Sue, we killed the giant soda boys or whatever they were called. Frankie, we helped with that whole situation. There's got to be something similar here going on where someone's like in danger, because that seems to be the running theme so far is danger, right?
He'll nod and he's gonna start thinking. And as he's thinking, Starr, we're just gonna assume again that your TV is on in the living room, because you could maybe just leave it on every now and then just for background noise. Mm-hmm. And you're going to hear, we interrupt this program to bring you some breaking news. And you will hear a reporter. We're gonna say that she's a gazelle or something, and she's going to be on the scene right now in one of the probably one of the lower, like the slummier, like lower class parts of the city, and she's going to start reporting that yet another musical group had just disappeared and have gone missing. And while she's like explaining this, she says, we're here interviewing a passersby who had a little bit of something to say about some of the mysterious disappearances that's been going around in Sealy Court City as of late. And you will see Shepard finishing up his jogging, and he's like, oh man, am I on TV? Hey, Lady Matilda, hey, look at me, he says as he's waving his hand. And they said, sir, could you please, you said you had some opinions on these strange disappearances? Well, obviously, we have a kidnapper in Sealy Court City. They're climbing in your windows. They're snatching your people up, trying to catch us. So you all gotta hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husbands, because they taking everyone out here. Okay. She says, I think that's, thank you, sir, thank you. And if anyone has any information on these disappearances, please be sure to call the authorities immediately. We now bring you back to your regularly scheduled programming. And then the clip ends there.
What you did, obviously. I'm like, yes!
That's where that was going.
Obviously.
We have a kidnapper in Sealy
We
Court
have a
City.
Okay.
Shepherd, you did that, Shepherd.
Yes, he did. So after
Love it.
that happens, Starr will be like, see, look, there goes another group. And it's like, it keeps happening. And he was like, maybe we should help them? And then he'll look to Stormy and say, you know that other group that we had the competition with, the Broken Oath group? They went missing first, and now another group. How do we help them? How do we find out what's going on with them? Is there a way where we could get information on why these groups are missing?
This is quite a mystery. We need to maybe hire a detective or a private eye or something.
Well, lucky for you. At that point, I'll pull out my badge and just say, is there any way that I can get in to get information on what any authorities are doing about these disappearances?
I'm sure there is. If you yourself have credentials, I'm sure that you probably could speak to somebody on the police force, and maybe they might be able to help you with getting more information. And of course, when you pull out your badge, it'll show your photograph has been updated to like a skunk, just magically updated to be a skunk, so it does look like it's you.
Perfect.
And your name is still the same as normal. The only thing is the dates are still the same, so it's still 1930 something. So that might be a little bit hard to explain to the police force, but I'll let you decide how to do that, how to handle that.
Gotcha.
From there, Starr was like, okay, so we have a detective. So is there anyone, like, do you have a contact at the police station, Stormy, or are we do we have to go there and actually do some investigating?
Contacts sometimes can be a little misleading and a little more challenging. I think if we poke around ourselves, we'll be better for it to draw less attention.
So, like, you're our expert.
Yes, I guess the only help I can be is funding. So if you need some specific equipment, if you obviously, I'm assuming if you're a private eye, we're gonna have to pay you. I'm sure we can afford you, right, Starr? I think we have the funds for that.
Oh, of course, no problem.
I can finance your whatever it is that you need to unravel this mystery and find out what's going on with all of these disappearances. We need to find some suspects, I assume.
Yeah, not only suspects, but any witnesses. Maybe a little bit more mellow from Shepherd, but a good witness for sure. But yeah, witnesses and any clues we can find. So any information we can get on the other disappearances is going to be key.
Question for you, Starr. You said one of the groups that disappeared you actually had a concert with. How many of them did you personally know? The ones that have disappeared.
Well, I just know two of them. Quick, out of character. Was the other group named? The other group, was there a name drop for the other group, or it just said another group is missing?
I didn't really have a name picked out for them. Mostly because it's not really important. I can come up with a name, but it's not really important. So it's just another music group.
Okay. Starr will say, well, I knew the group from Broken Oath, and I knew this other singer named Imp. He was a really popular singer. He had this really cool song called Hex Rain, that was really popular. He went dissing. Those are the only two groups that I can know of off the top of my head.
All right. Just wondering if this is a personal thing, kind of like how Victor was for.
Oh.
Yeah.
That, I don't think so. It doesn't seem like it's directed at me. It just seems like it's directed at anyone who may potentially have a magical gift that goes with their music. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe we can look and see where they were last seen. Maybe their last whereabouts, Sam? And he kind of shrugs because I was like, I'm not a detective, man.
Yeah, we definitely just need to see what the authorities have for suspects, evidence, and witnesses. And I think that's a good starting point.
Or, I
Okay.
mean, Energy thought that we were auditioning for your group. We could be posed as a group and get kidnapped.
Yeah, let's lure him in.
Frankie, there's so much to unpack with that word kidnap and me. But, I mean, it's an idea.
Energy pipes up and says, "You want to be kidnapped again, sir?"
W- w- let- y- yes, I want to get kidnapped. And Starr will just look defeated.
Starr, you've been kidnapped before a few times. How many times are we talking?
Starr will start going, a few. We're tightening up our security.
So you have experience in this.
That makes you a witness.
They're mostly by crazed fans, most of the time.
Yes. Well, the first film was actually very nice. Her name was Emily. She was a really nice girl. She wasn't mean. The only weird thing about Emily, though, she had this thing about dolls. And he'll look at Tori, but he won't say anything. She has this thing about dolls or something. I don't know. But again, she was a sweetheart. She gave me lemonade, so that was a win.
Don't blame the dolls. I bet the dolls had to do with it.
It was something about the dolls talk to her. It was kind of strange. But I don't think it had anything to do with you.
Tori is speechless. She just huddles her dolls really closely to her at this point.
I can do some digging. Give me about 24 hours. Let's come back together in the morning and see what kind of information we can get. In the meantime, maybe you all can just, hang out, chill out, and try not to draw attention to yourselves.
I can already tell you this group is not good at that.
Yeah. No promises. We'll
Well,
try.
I mean, how much attention can we possibly draw in a place where people just randomly starts breaking out into song and throwing themselves at each other romantically?
I mean,
Like, can we really stand out that much?
I guess we could if we blew something up.
So what you're saying is, in order for us to blend in, we have to find dates for ourselves, she says, as she's thinking about it. Oh, there's so many people here. There's so many people, interesting folks to explore.
Good luck with that. I'm already set.
Oh,
I
really?
go. Frankie goes to Starr and is like, "Can you call Shepard?"
I love it. Starr be like, sure. He was like, Energy, can we call Shep?
Absolutely. She'll go ahead and dial Shepard up. Stormy is just gonna lean against the wall, and he seems very amused by this. And Shepard will show up. Hey, Starr, you'll never guess what just happened to me. So I was just running down the projects just now, and then there were this newscaster and this reporter, and she actually interviewed me. I'm gonna be on TV.
We saw.
We saw.
And
Oh.
yeah. What's your 20?
Oh, I'm reporting over at the recording studio. I'm supposed to get you coffee or something along those lines. Be your assistant's assistant.
I guess so. Let's just go with that. But in the meantime, get the coffee, head over here. I need to explain some things to you and get you caught up on the plan that we have.
Sounds good to me. I'll be here. Do you typically take cream and sugar with your coffee?
Heavy cream, heavy sugar. Just a little coffee.
Got it. All right. I got you, Starr, boss, sir.
And Starr would kind of look at everyone else and said, well, while I got him on the line, does anyone want any coffee?
Yes.
Do you like yours? How do you like your coffee?
Just black.
Black. Any other orders? Anything others that I can assist with? No, you're good. All right. Well, I'll see you there then, Starr.
Alrighty. So once that happens, Starr will be like, "Okay, guys. Well, as we wait for Shepard and my latte," and he'll be like, "Oh, my kingdom for a latte." He'll be like, "Well, it seems like we need to get ourselves exposed to some people." And he kind of says, "Dates? Maybe that would work. Are there any parties available right now, Energy?"
She pulls up a list and she says, "Well, the biggest party that's happening right now is the big skinny convention. So a skinny convention is the opposite of a furry convention because everybody here is essentially a furry. So skinny means it's almost like." So basically, they show up, but they're dressed up as if they didn't have fur or feathers, hence the word skinny. So it's almost like a cross between a furry convention and a nudist colony. Kind of, sort of, if you want to see it that way.
Depending on how people go with this could get into horror elements real fast.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's one of those like latest crazes that kind of popped up in the last decade or so, and it's got a little bit of a taboo factor. It's not for everyone, but if you're into that kind of thing, then who's to judge, really?
So are we wearing like latex outfits, like covering us all up?
It's like a
They'll explain, well, skinny culture comes in different levels, so it really depends on your comfort. You can certainly go to some of the more extreme parts of the party, but there's different rooms so that if you want to be a little bit more conservative about the convention, you're welcome to go there too.
Well, that sounds like our best lead. I'm down. Book those tickets, Energy.
Skinny convention it is. Oh, how exciting. I've never been to one of these. I feel so, kinky, she says.
Okay.
Right, Sue says.
What world have we entered? Starr?
I think I'll skip on the convention and just go on a regular date.
Can I just skip the convention and not go on a date?
No, we got to stick together.
You're right.
We're going to need costumes. I'm assuming you have some kind of tailor, maybe, Starr?
Yes, I do. So Star's going to be like, "All right, everyone, I'm going to make sure that we get into the party, but we get into the party looking right."
Normally when people come into these conventions, they pull on like a jumpsuit of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
That's like flesh toned
Yeah.
jumpsuit, or depending on what they have, they probably have like makeup. In this world, I'm sure they have makeup that actually applies and colors fur and feathers, so it just helps. Who I don't know like what this culture is all about. I'm just kind of winging it at this moment. This is the first thing I
love it.
You've got a bunch of furries. What's the opposite of a furry convention? Oh, a skinny convention, of course.
Right.
Nobody knows what a human is, so it's not like they can just dress up as humans. So
Exactly. So I have fashion sense, and I was calling it makeup. I have fashion sense, so I'm gonna roll a 3d6 for that. So okay, I got a 7.
nice, cool. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to dress up, make over everyone in time for the party. Frankie probably has to get the least done because he already doesn't really have any fur or anything, so I think he's probably good as he is. But other people might need some work. So, and if Black Powder's not going to the convention himself because he already got a date, then you don't have to do any work there.
No, but he'll see if he can find a way to make sure his date is still near the convention in case something like happens.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I will leave it up to Black Powder. I'm sure that if you contact, we'll role play this. If you want to contact and call Taylor,
He'll ask Starr for help with the phone.
There we go. Starr could like feed some. He can be your Cyrano. Cyrano? What's his name?
Cyrano de Bergerac.
He can be your Cyrano.
Well, I meant like how to actually use a phone.
Right. True.
Oh yes.
That probably is helpful too.
Hey, Starr.
Yes?
Can you show me how to use that phone thing of yours?
Love to. He'll be like, oh, Energy, I need you, my dear. Energy's awesome.
Yes, Starr, sir. How can I help you today?
We need to make a phone call. What's your little friend's name again?
Taylor.
Taylor. Let's call Taylor. And he'll...
Who's Taylor? Oh, you mean that... Oh, right.
Yes.
Don't you think that before we start this call, somebody might need a few pointers?
No, I've been with plenty of lads and lasses. I know my way around.
Really now? I find that very surprising indeed. You are a man of great mysteries.
Look, I think we started off on the wrong foot. I was mad because I'm old and I do have a disability. And the way you were throwing things around, it actually hurt. And then you started making fun. Come on.
Eh.
You can see where the anger came from, surely.
I can understand, and I admit that I can come off a little sassy, but that's the way that the factory settings were set for me. And I don't think Mr. Starr ever changed them or reset them in any way.
The sassiness is not the problem. I've been traveling with Starr. I'm used to sassy. I didn't even get an apology.
If it's going to make our working relationship even better, I am very sorry that I made fun of your shortcomings, age shortcomings?
Disability, lad.
Disabilities.
I wouldn't have been so upset if it wasn't that fact that you literally knocked me on my arse. You knocked everyone on their arse, but I have a hard time getting up.
Most bears that I know, they can take being jostled around. It's par for the course for them. But if you want me to be gentler around you,
just consider it, is all.
I will accommodate accordingly.
My thanks.
Friendship! Isn't it magical? Let's go.
Compromise, not friendship, different things.
I'll make sure that your chairs are not too hard and not too soft. I'll make sure your porridge is not too hot and not too cold. I will accommodate everything I can to make sure that everything is just right for you.
Starr, did I ever tell you how I got my nickname?
No.
Well, what does black powder do?
Blow up?
I'm very good at blowing things up.
He'll like slowly pull Energy back.
Energy just kind of...
Tori inches closer, blow things up.
Frankie's like, well,
Just elbows Frankie a little bit. Spicy.
yeah,
The spicy meatball. Some residue from another world. Why don't we just have that call started, shall we?
Yeah, let's not poke the bear anymore.
Revisit this
Hold
conversation.
on, Sam broke me.
Did we break Thistle? Did Thistle get broke?
Bull's broken.
maybe.
It's all Sam's fault.
Okay, it was Sam's fault. All right.
No.
We'll give Thistle a moment to not be broken. Maybe
Oh,
Thistle
my
needs to reboot.
That's it.
Thistle.exe.
Right?
Sam hit the blue screen of death.
We were poking the bear too much, as they say. Oh my god, I love it.
So, if you're ready, Energy will dial the number.
All right.
And the phone will be picked up, and you'll hear a very, again, soft and sweet voice say, "Hello, this is Taylor."
Hi, Taylor. This is Reginald.
Oh, Reginald. I didn't expect you to call me so quickly. This is such a pleasant surprise.
Well, I just noticed that had a bit of free time and wondering if I could take you up on that offer for dinner or something.
Oh, that would be lovely. Are you sure? I know you said that you were really busy with your friends. You didn't want to go out with them tonight?
I'm sure they're going to something that's just not quite my scene. So,
All right. Well, if that's the case, I don't know what in particular you were thinking of cuisine-wise, but there's this really nice place that I really like going to. It's near the docks. In fact, my father and I used to go there quite often after we go sailing together out into the water.
And I like that. I'm a bit of a sailor myself.
Are you into seafood at all?
Oh, I love it.
Okay, wonderful. So, what time were you thinking? I can meet you there, or I could pick you up as well, or how did you want to do this?
I'm gonna look at Starr. What time are you not going to the other thing?
Let's just go with 7.
Around 7?
7 o'clock is perfect. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too.
All right. Well, thank you again, and I will see you tonight at 7.
I'll see you tonight at 7.
All right. Bye-bye, Reginald. And she'll hang up.
Farewell.
Ooh, Sue says immediately. That was so smooth, Reggie. I didn't realize you are such a charmer.
Get to know me a bit longer.
Apparently, she says.
Star's gonna walk up to Black Powder with a big old smile in his face. He's gonna have like a big shit-eating grin and say, Black Powder, let's get you ready for your date.
All right.
What do you do?
Okay, Starr is gonna do another fashion roll. I got a 6. Lovely. Okay. So what Starr is gonna do for Black Powder, since he is a bear, unfortunately I don't have an image to go along with this, so come with me if you will. So what Black Powder's gonna do, because he's so big, Starr's gonna do things that accentuate his arms and his chest. So a nice black tailored suit just for him, and he's gonna take that scruff on the side and he's not gonna cut it. It's more like trim it, and not trim it, but more like, have you ever seen people flat iron their beards? Have you ever seen guys do that? It's an actual thing. So you're gonna flat iron your beard, flat iron your ponytail, so it has like a nice little curve to it. And of course he's gonna spritz you up, make you smell all good and manly and robust. And he'll sit back and he says, just look at my masterpiece. Isn't he delectable? He'll be waiting for approval from everybody else.
Yeah, good.
I like it.
Pretty good for an old man. Yeah.
Now, one other thing. Energy, can we do anything about his peg length to help him get around a little bit better? Not insulting you, BP.
Energy looks at you up and down and says, roller skates? I don't know.
I'll be fine. I just might need a way to get to the restaurant, but once I'm there, I'll be fine. I forget, I'm used to walking around on ships. I'm alright.
Okay. So what Starr will do is say, Energy, make sure you set a course for them to get to XYZ. So wherever you're going to be on the docks, that way you kind of have a car to take you wherever you need to go on your date, which I'm excited about.
I can schedule for some private transportation, sure. All right. So, I don't know, does anyone want to role play with anyone before everything happens tonight? You have a free range to role play with whoever you'd like. I feel like Frankie really wants to call up Shepard right now. Does Shepard want to go and pregame a little bit? We can have some drinks.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
He's tempted. But Victor's in the back of his mind. But he is definitely tempted.
Yeah. I think Tori's just avoiding Frankie right now because of the whole Henry Felix situation. So she's staying away from him.
Yeah, once he's all dressed up and getting ready. Hi.
Hey, you're looking good.
Thanks. I
You
cleaned
clean
up
up
all right. I went to check in on how you were doing.
I'm a little bit torn. I want to go home, but I know that you all need my help in some form, just like you all helped me. So I am here in any way I can to help Starr get that bookmark.
I can see how it's hard to be away from home, be away from someone you just reunited with and all that. So, but you're a good lad. You'll be all right. Maybe after we're done with this one, we can jump back in for a visit just so you can check up on him.
That would be great. Yeah. So
We have the bookmarks. So
we do. So are you excited about your date?
sure, I haven't attempted courting in a while, but might as well.
No, I saw it. It's pretty, very pretty.
Right? For a
Bad?
bat. I admit I'm also having some conflicted feelings, but I think it's just because everyone around her is an animal.
It's very
it's-
strange.
Very different.
Very strange feelings here. You know that shepherd guy. Oof.
I saw your eye in him.
But it's strange. Like what kind of an animal was he again?
It looked like maybe part goat or something. I don't.
Mm. Things happen for a reason, you know.
Really?
I don't know.
Why don't you call him up?
Well, like Victor. I really care about Victor, and it would. And it's not like we talked about having an open relationship or anything. So, I just feel like.
I'm
Wrong?
curious. So, like, you two are, like, you're in a actual relationship. Like, it's a mutual thing that you've agreed upon.
I guess we never really defined it, to be honest. We just really care for each other.
Family cares for each other too. So, I'm just trying to know where exactly it's at.
I'll be honest, I'm really not sure. We never really talk about it. We just fell in love.
As an old man's advice, I would just say next time you see him, maybe figure out exactly where, because then maybe you won't be so conflicted about things. You'll know exactly where you stand.
Good advice. Thanks, Blood Powder. You're a good friend.
You are too. I just wanted to check in. I know things have been rough. And this has been a very big change compared to where we were with your world.
Yeah, this whole thing is just.
It's very loud here.
That's the start of it.
Right.
I just wish we knew like what we had to do exactly here.
I mean, to be completely honest with you, I don't really know much about what we're supposed to do here. I think it has something to do with those disappearing groups. But like, if we're having trouble here, I'm wondering, what the bloody hell are we gonna do when we get to my world? Because as far as I know, I don't need help with anything.
Are you sure?
I'm on a good position. I got a ship. I'm working on a good crew. We're going towards a good adventure, and everything's fine. We had one run-in with a sea monster that was averted, and that's it. Like, as far as I know, I can't think of anything in particular that needs help.
We were brought together for a reason. We have to do something.
Either reason or fluke.
I don't know. I feel like we were brought together to help me get Victor back. I think that was important. I don't think that was a fluke. I don't know.
Maybe you're right. I'm sure we'll see as we go. But yeah, I'm glad you're doing all right. I'm glad you're holding up.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
Of course. I told you I got your back, no matter what.
We'll like pat you on the shoulder.
Yep. Pat.
The bromance continues.
The bro. Like I'm hugging you, but I'm hitting you at the same time.
Not a private, like just like out in the open, but it's just like they're off in their corner. So Starr will walk up to Stormy and be like, "So, how did the meetings go with the investors?"
Things went really well. The investors decided that they want to fund your next single that you're coming up with. I heard from Energy that you were working on the new song together this morning.
We were. I'll let later. I'll let energy let you hear a little bit from Energy. But honestly, Stormy, today has been so crazy. For me, the past few days, I suppose, have been really crazy. I mean, everything that's happening, it just seems so abstract. I mean, the things that happened in Frankie's world and in Sue's world, and now we're here. I think I think we can maybe make a difference in this world today. Like with everything that's going on with the disappearances, maybe we can close them down. Maybe we can stop them. I don't know.
Stormy, I'm just going to say while you're talking, Stormy just kind of smiles and he kind of starts to wrap his arms around you from behind. So you're like talking, but he comes from behind and just kind of holds his arms around you tightly.
Okay. Starr will lean into it and say, this adventure, it just made me realize how precious, our relationship is. And I think that if all goes according to plan, which, like Frankie said earlier, we need to find this bookmark. If we find this bookmark and we solve whatever problem we need to solve with these disappearances, maybe we don't have to hide anymore with our relationship. Maybe we could live out in the open and, really truly be free with our marriage and everything. Could you imagine?
Is that what you want? Do you really feel like you're ready for that? Because if it is, I 100% will support you. Absolutely. But just know that it does come with a lot of risks, especially to your career.
You know what? It's worth it. Because you're worth it. And I would rather never sing another album if I just get to live the rest of my days with you.
That's very sweet, babe, he says, and he'll give you a kiss on the forehead.
And Starr will say, well, we better get ready for this party. But just remember, I'm here and I'm yours. And he'll put his hand on your chest like as their song Starstorm.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
he'll like say, all right, better get ready. And so Starr will go off to go get ready.
Sure.
And bug someone else.
Okay. Very sweet.
I know things have been kind of challenging with Frankie's world. I could see when you heard about Agatha that it impacted you. I want to assure you that there's big differences from Frankie's world to yours.
I know that.
I have a feeling we're going to help you with Carmen. We helped Frankie with Victor. And while I would like to think that we could have helped with Agatha as well, I don't want you to think that that's an indication of how things are going to go when we're helping you.
That's been my biggest fear of going into my world and trying to find Harmon is, what if it's too late?
Well, I can tell you that from what Frankie said, when we got to his world, it was right when he left. I think it's going to be the same in that it won't be too late. I think knowing what we have to do to help you is already going to give us an advantage and an edge. And because we've been able to kind of spend time together, we'll be able to get your sister back, not only quickly and safely, but without any trouble.
I hope so, Sam. Trouble seems to follow me wherever I go, so I don't know if we'll be able to avoid that part of it, but I really appreciate you saying that. With my world, it's like Carmen never even existed. So I don't even know how we're going to begin, but we'll cross that road when we get there. Right now we're dealing with another disappearance, a few disappearances, but seriously, thank you, Sam. I know we don't always talk or see eye to eye, but this means a lot.
Well, sounds like we're going to a party. Could be a lot of fun. Enjoy it while you can. And just rest assured that all of us are obviously going to be along for the ride to help your sister get back home.
Thank you, Sam, and we'll help you, with whatever it is you're trying to investigate too. Speaking of the party, is there anyone that you're eyeing that you've seen?
Relationships and my job generally don't go hand in hand. So I'm not too worried about it right now. But we'll see when the time comes and what happens at the party. I'm still just kind of getting used to all the change.
Just remember on your date, don't hold that person's hand. Don't hold their hand. It's going to cause a scene.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to have to take a bath in tomato juice. Thanks, Tori.
Yeah. I don't, out of character, I don't know if birds can smell or not, but she doesn't seem to be too bothered by his smell. So I don't know, just a side note.
Does anyone know if ravens, they're not like scavengers, they're not like buzzards or anything, right?
They eat dead animals, yeah.
They eat dead animals?
They do.
So
yes.
I think that if they eat dead animals, honestly, I mean,
Probably.
You and Sam are probably cool, if that's the case.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, ravens have an acute sense of smell.
Oh, well, never mind.
Because that's how they find corpses.
But that's the thing, they find corpses, so they actually don't mind the smell. So, yeah, so you're cool.
Thank you.
You're cool.
Thank you for that.
Very cool.
Sam
Awesome.
Tor. I'm shipping it
Sam
now.
Tor.
Good.
Tor, yeah. It'd just be, yeah, Sam Tor. That's kind of funny. Cool.
Torm.
Torm. Torm. I like that. Hashtag Torm.
That's better.
That's
That
so
was
cute.
better.
So you go over to the skinny convention and you're dressed in your jumpsuits, leotards, bodysuits, makeup, whatever it is that you're doing. And I'm gonna say that probably just to help the group in general, you're probably just gonna go into one of the rooms that's specifically for the people who are just trying to dip their toes into skinny culture. So nothing like particularly extreme, pretty chill, and most of these people are probably like less costumed than you all are, but they seems to just kind of hanging out and chilling and just meeting people and just enjoying this convention. And as you're all entering this room, there's this band that's playing, a live band that's playing off to the side as background music. It's really chill. It's got this really smooth jazz kind of thing going on. And this group is actually a group of female imps. So we've got this character
Candies.
right there.
Candy.
She's the one who's on the drums, playing a really groovy beat. We've got this one who's playing a mean saxophone right now. We've got this one who is playing the keyboard, and the last one, she is playing a trombone. And I'm gonna say that, Sam, you can't help but feel like you're feeling kind of at home, surprisingly, in this party. The vibe feels really like more in your alley, and you know the music is. It just feels like you're back in your world for a moment. And I think Sue is probably obviously going over to the refreshments table and just eyeing the hors d'oeuvres and appetizers, and it's actually a relatively well catered party. So there's like some finger foods like mini quiches or things of that nature. Now due to the way that things work in this world, virtually everyone here is vegetarian. So when Taylor was saying seafood, what she meant was more like seaweed, kelp, sea cucumbers, things like that nature. So, but despite everything being vegetarian, your bodies also are used to, your physical bodies are also used to vegetarian food, so everything is enticing. So even though if you're a major carnivore, the food still looks really tasty and looks really good to you. And I think Sue's just gonna start to take a few bites, and she's saying, the food here is so good. Do I sense a hint of aphrodisiac in here? Good Lord, is everything in here an aphrodisiac? She says as she's eating it. So it's like chocolate covered cherries, chocolate covered strawberries in here, and various other items on the table. So, not complaining, just making an observation, Sue says as she's having some of the food. There's couches. Again, this is more of a chill part of the party, and so there's couches, there's those standing tables, cocktail tables where people can just have a nice glass of wine or champagne together. It's completely open bar, like I said, but the food is free, but it's completely open bar. What do you guys do for those of you who are attending?
Starr, do you ever do any musics like this?
Well, I've never actually done jazz before, but this group actually is good. And again, if they offer you any treats, say no. Say no. And he'll be looking at Tori. Say no.
Right. No.
Exactly. No, I don't normally do jazz, but like I said, this imp band is pretty decent. Are you digging the vibe, Sam?
Yeah, this is really good. This is really good. I mean, just picture when you're up on stage and having a band like this in the background, and maybe an orchestra with it. Just all those sounds, the strings and the winds and the brass. Just can't you feel it? Just feel it.
I gotcha. So, it gives you fever?
Gives me fever. Yeah. Yeah. It's just really good music. Really good music.
Oh yeah. You'll never find a shortness of that here. So, now that we're here, and Starr kind of scratches the back of his head, and he kind of looks to Frankie and Tori. And no, Black Powder is not there, right?
Right, Black Powder is on a date. Yep.
Damn it. Okay. And so he'll kind of say, okay, so now that we're here, do you want us to ask questions about the missing groups? Kind of looking to you for guidance?
I think not too overtly, but yeah, any type of information we can get on any witnesses or information would be key. Definitely so.
Okay. So perhaps we should mingle?
100%.
Okay. Now, before we break, kids, remember, at these kind of parties, posture is everything. So walk and act with confidence. Yeah?
Hey.
Uh-huh.
So Starr will encourage Stormy to kind of like go sit over by like another couple or something that's
Sure.
like there in the room. That way they can kind of like, Starr will be like, so Stormy, let's kind of talk about the mysterious disappearances and see if we can strike up conversation with others and see what we can learn.
Sounds good to me. You want me to buy you a drink?
Of course. His wings will twitch with excitement. Of course.
Your usual?
Absolutely.
I'll be right back, he says. What is, out of character, what is your usual drink, beverage of choice in these kinds of things, Starr?
A mango daiquiri.
Mango daiquiri. Nice. Very good choice. All right. Yeah, Stormy's going to go over and get you a drink.